Ready to revolutionize your coding experience? Cursor combines the familiar VS Code environment with cutting-edge AI to supercharge your development workflow. Let's take a look at it. Cursor is more than just another code editor. It's a powerful development tool built on the popular VS Code platform, and it's enhanced with AI to make your coding experience smoother and more productive. At its core, Cursor understands your code and helps you write it better. Now, the primary goal of Cursor is to boost your efficiency by handling repetitive tasks automatically. This means less time spent on tedious coding patterns and more time focusing on solving creative problems. Think of it as having an intelligent assistant that knows your code as well as you do. Cursor's AI-powered Autocomplete is far more advanced than traditional code completion. Instead of just suggesting variable names and syntax, things like that, it predicts entire code blocks based on your project's context. The AI analyzes your existing code base to understand your coding patterns and offers suggestions that match your style. This reduces typing time and helps prevent syntax errors before they happen. Now, smart refactoring is another game-changing feature. Cursor can identify complex code that could be simplified and suggest cleaner alternatives. It automatically detects unused variables, overly complex conditionals, and other code smells, and offers to clean them up with a single click. This means your code stays maintainable without extra effort. One of Cursor's most revolutionary features is its ability to understand plain English. Instead of memorizing complex commands or syntax, you can simply describe what you want to accomplish. The workflow is simple. First, describe your coding need in everyday language. For example, you might say, create a function that validates email addresses. Cursor then analyzes your request and generates relevant code options for you to review. You maintain complete control, choosing the solution that best fits your needs. Once you've selected an option, you can integrate it into your project with a single click and modify it as needed. This natural language capability bridges the gap between your ideas and code implementation, which makes development more intuitive and accessible. Cursor's real-time error detection works like having an expert developer looking over your shoulder. So as you type, Cursor actively analyzes your code to identify potential issues before you even run it. If Cursor finds a problem, it doesn't just flag it, it suggests specific fixes. Now, these aren't generic solutions, but context-aware recommendations based on your specific code. This means you'll not only fix the immediate issue, but also understand why it was a problem. This continuous feedback loop helps you learn from mistakes and develop better coding habits. So over time, you'll find yourself making fewer errors and writing more robust code from the start. This dramatically reduces the time spent debugging later in the development process. Cursor integrates an AI chat assistant directly into your development environment. This eliminates the need to switch between your code editor and external help resources. The code-based knowledge feature allows you to ask questions about your specific project. Unlike generic coding assistants, Cursor understands the structure and relationships within your code base. So you can ask, how does the authentication system work? And get an answer relevant to your specific implementation. For problem solving, describe the issues you're facing, and Cursor will provide targeted solutions that consider your project's context. This means faster resolution of complex problems and less time spent searching through documentation or Stack Overflow. Cursor stands out from other code editors in several key ways. Its integration with existing tools means you don't need to abandon your favorite VS Code extensions or version control systems. Cursor works seamlessly with Git and other VCS tools, making it easy to incorporate into your current workflow. The advanced AI models powering Cursor, ChatGPT-4 and Claude, for example, offer more sophisticated code analysis and assistance than many competitors. These models understand not just syntax, but the intent behind your code. The user-friendly interface makes Cursor accessible to all developers of all skill levels. If you're familiar with VS Code, you'll feel right at home, but with powerful new capabilities. Finally, Cursor offers excellent value with its pricing model. The free plan provides access to many core features, while the Pro plan at $20 a month unlocks the full range of advanced capabilities, which is a worthwhile investment considering the productivity gains. Developers report up to 10 times the amount saved on many common coding tasks. Real-time suggestions means you can implement features in minutes that might have taken hours with traditional editors. With proactive error detection, you'll spend up to 90% less time debugging. By catching issues as you type, Cursor helps eliminate the frustrating hunt for bugs after your code is written. Natural language commands allow you to code 50% faster by quickly implementing complex functionality without needing to recall exact syntax or structure. Simply describe what you want, and Cursor helps you build it. These efficiency gains compound over time, allowing you to complete projects faster and take on more challenging work with confidence. As we wrap up, remember that Cursor represents a new era in software development tools. By combining familiar coding environments with AI assistance, it creates an experience that's powerful and accessible. Transforming your workflow with Cursor means experiencing levels of productivity that weren't possible before. Tasks that once took hours can now be completed in minutes. Learning from AI doesn't just make you faster, it makes you a better developer. Cursor exposes you to best practices and alternative approaches that expand your coding skills. Joining the future of AI-powered development now puts you ahead of the curve. As software development continues to evolve, tools like Cursor will become increasingly essential for competitive developers. So I encourage you to download Cursor today and experience this firsthand. Your future self will thank you for the hours saved and the frustration avoided. So here I'm going to Cursor.com, which is the official website for the Cursor code editor. Now, generally, when you visit this page, you will see a download button with your operating system. So this is available for Windows, Mac, or Linux. And it says here, download for Windows. So we're going to click that and download it for Windows. Save our file. And it looks like it's done. So I'll open that up. Okay. Now here we have the license agreement. Be sure to read through that. And if you accept the terms of that agreement, click I accept the agreement, click Next. Now here we can create a desktop icon. We can add an Open with Cursor action. That's something that I usually do. So I can open with Cursor, if I'm looking through files on the file system. You can register Cursor as an editor for supported file types, which can be pretty handy. And I always select Add to Path. That way we can use the Cursor command later. We'll click Next, and it's ready to install. Okay, and we're done. So we'll click on Finish. And you can see it says Launch Cursor there in the window. And we're here at our Cursor screen. And we can sign in here. So we'll click on Sign In. And here I'm going to check Continue with Google because I'm registered under my Google account. And then you'll see a message that says Log into the Cursor desktop. You're currently logged in as jeremymorgan@gmail.com. Please only log in if you just came from the Cursor app. Yes, I did. Yes, log in. Now we open up Cursor and we can see that I'm logged in under my Pro account, and I can either open a project, clone a repo, or connect via SSH. And we will do all of those things in this course. But Cursor is now up and ready to go within minutes. Let's try another operating system. Okay, with Mac OS X, it's a little bit similar. Now I'll go here and go to Cursor.com. And here you'll notice when we bring up the page, it says Download for Mac OS X. So I will save that in my Downloads folder. And now that it's downloaded, I can just double click on that, DMG. And as you can see, we have a Cursor installer. Drag it over to Applications. And now we have Cursor available in our applications. And I'm going to keep this in the dock. We'll move this over. And it says Cursor is an app downloaded from the internet. Are you sure you want to open it? Yes, I do. And now I can close the Cursor installer and eject it. And here we're once again greeted with these options. Do we want VS Code, Vim, JetBrains, etc.? Codebase wide. We can install a code and a Cursor command for Mac also. And this is going to ask me for administrator permissions. Successfully installed. We'll hit continue. Now, I have some Visual Studio Code extensions installed here. And it says, do you want to start from scratch or use extensions? So I'm going to select Use Extensions. This will pull in the different extensions that I already have installed on Visual Studio Code. And then once again, we see the data preferences, help improve Cursor or privacy mode. I'm going to help in Cursor. Now we're ready to log in. Now this opens up Safari, but I'm just going to copy this URL and put it into Chrome. And then click Continue with Google. And it says, again, like we saw last time, log into Cursor Desktop. Yeah. And then Chrome will ask, hey, do you want me to open Cursor? Yes. And here we go. Now we have Cursor open and ready to go. We can see it's Cursor Pro. We can see the different settings, and we'll get into these in this course. But we have Cursor here open and ready to go in Mac OS X. Finally, this is supported in Linux also, so let's see what it looks like in Linux. So now I'm on my Ubuntu machine. Now, one of the interesting things about running Cursor in Linux is the instructions are actually the same no matter which version of Linux you're running, because you're simply downloading a binary file, it's an app image, making it executable and running it. Therefore, there is no like apt-get, pacman, yum, anything like that at the time of this recording that's available. So let's rig it up. We're going to go here and go to cursor.com. You can see here, download for Linux. We're going to click that, and there's our app image file that we're downloading. Awesome. And we'll open that up, or we'll open up that folder, and we can see this here, and we can set this as executable and then run it. This is, so you can set it here as executable and go. However, I'm going to run it from a command prompt to show you something, because this is a brand new install of Ubuntu, so it probably won't work. So I'm going to open this up, and generally I'll take this and copy it. Now you can put this in user local, you can put it in an opt folder if you'd like. Generally, I just create a folder named apps, and I store binary files like that in here. It's not exactly compliant with all the rest of the ways that Linux does things, but you can do it however you'd like. Now here in my apps folder, we have the Cursor file, and I'm going to rename this so it's a little bit easier to deal with. So generally, I run Cursor in Linux quite a bit. And what I generally do is download the app image and just name it Cursor app image. When a new update comes out, I just overwrite it. And that's something important to think about. In order to update Cursor on Mac or Windows, you just click the update button as soon as it comes up. However, with Linux, you are going to have to, when an update comes up and it says update needed, you are going to have to go to the site, grab the binary file, and copy it over again. So now we can see our Cursor app image. We can set it executable just to make sure, even though we did it earlier. And then we do /cursor app image. Now, here's why I wanted to run this from the command prompt. Because if you just try to run it from here, nothing will happen, right? But if you run it from the command prompt, you will get this error message. And it says, app images require Fuse to run. You might still be able to extract the contents of this app image if you run it with the app image extract. Well, that doesn't really help us very much, but we do need Fuse. So how do we do that? So here's what we'll do. Sudo apt-get update, sudo apt-get upgrade -y. We'll make sure our system is completely up to date. Okay. And we'll do sudo apt install libfuse 2t64. Now we should be able to run Cursor. And of course here I can select the keyboard, language for AI, etc. We've already seen this a bunch of times. Here we have the Visual Studio Code extensions. Yeah, we'll use those. We'll bring those in. And I'll click continue. And then once again, we're going to log in. Now, one thing you'll notice is that Cursor looks identical in all three of these operating systems. And I think that's something that's important to think about. Here's where Cursor will be different between those operating systems. So if we go here to open project, and I'm just going to create something random here, right? Where to say, we'll create a folder called projects. And in there, I'll say test project. We'll select the folder and open it up. And I could say something like create a hello world app in Python. And of course, because I like things to go fast, this is the way to do it. Now, here's where things will be different, and that is in your terminal. So when we open up a terminal here, if you open up a terminal in Windows, generally it will give you PowerShell. Now you can configure Cursor, and we'll go over that more in this course, but you'll be able to configure Cursor so that in Windows in particular, you can go to Command Prompt instead of PowerShell, or you can open WSL, which is Windows Subsystem in Linux, something like that. If you're in Mac OS X, then you're going to go to the OS X command line. You're going to have Z shell. If you're in Linux, like we are here, you're going to have a Linux shell. So that just means that your terminal is going to be different depending on the operating system you're in. Fortunately, with Windows, I think you get the most flexibility in that you can have a PowerShell terminal, command line, or Linux, whichever one you like. You can't get a Mac OS X terminal in Windows, but it's probably the most flexible. So, when you're doing things like executing scripts, etc., it's going to be a little bit different in each of those operating systems. But I just wanted to show how you install Cursor, how you set it up in each of these operating systems. And one thing I can do with Cursor here is right-click and do a pin to dash. Now Cursor has been pinned to the dash of Ubuntu, so we can click on it and get it running again. And that's it. So thanks for watching.